Welcome back to the channel, people. This is what we're working on today. So, I know in the last video, we'd concluded, based off of TikTok, that it was gonna get a Cummins, which it is. In the meantime, I can't have this thing that takes up 2 car lengths, tying up my entire shop. So for the meantime, it's going to get a 351. Then I can get it out on the road, get all the issues sorted out with it, and brakes, things like that, things that are gonna pop up. And then when I can afford to do and have all the pieces to the Cummins swap, we'll go ahead and start the Cummins swap. So this 100% is still getting a Cummins. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be taking this 351 out of here and putting it into that in the meantime. I also have just finished fixing the oil leak on the S2000. I'm going to wrap it, and I can't wait to drive this thing at Import Face Off in Vegas and in Chandler. That's going to be super fun, and I'm excited for that. Have some other projects here. This is a LS swapped Chevy Love that we're going to go through and fix up. And this thing, I got to put in some clips of this car. That thing is rowdy. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. Go over a little bit more of the Wagon. I had to buy a new airline system, or set of airlines, because these ones are giant airlines. As you can tell, they leak. So I'm gonna go through and run new lines, each individual line to each bag. And then, this car sits so low that it tore up the back, so I'm going to cut the entire bottom out, do a new platform, and then put the cover back over the top. I have no clue what the status of the electrical system is, so I may end up having to rewire some of that. But yeah, this is where the Wagon sits, and I'm hoping to have the engine back in this thing by this weekend. That is given a sickness that I've been dealing with right now. It's going around, doesn't stop me, because I've been on and off being able to actually get stuff done. I had a cord in here that I just did a clutch on, so that took up some time. Let's see. So after I take the swap out of that to put into this, just to get it running and get it out of the shop, I have to do an engine swap on that. We're gonna be taking my buddy Supra there to get finished up soon. That thing should just need a tune, according to Chris at ECU Masters. The Festiva, as you've seen from the last video, still needs the axles. The Pinto, I have to get an ECU for. The B210 is a customer's car. That one's good to go, but it may end up getting that 400 horsepower turbo rotary that's up there. The Porsche no longer starts. It probably has fouled plugs. My Excursion needs a turbo, all kinds of stuff. So anyways, just a little update from the shop. I need to get a welding cart. I am planning on running some cars at the drags here on the 21st. If you're local, definitely come out and say what's up. Just like I don't know if I mentioned, I ran the LS Swap Mazda truck on street tires.
Don't put it into it, don't let up.
Matter of fact, that was a lot of fun. That truck could do really good. It just needs some better tires. So that may end up going back. The Rabbit may end up going to the drags. There's the other Rabbit back there. I don't know if you've seen that one's caged and ready to go, but has no drivetrain. So yeah, a lot of projects coming up. I may or may not put some footage from the J35 swap Porsche into this video. I have a new fuel tank to go into that, set up a camera system, replace a reservoir, and put a passenger seat into it. So we'll see if I end up getting to that, but stay tuned, and if not, I will see you guys on the next one. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to, as I said, I'd be working on the Honda Porsche tonight. So I am updating the fuel tank. This is a non-certified tank to a certified tank. Putting a fuel sending unit in the tank, and yeah, I know you guys were super stoked about this J35 swapped Porsche. You should see it with the front bumper on. It's actually a beautiful car. Not my car, but still really cool, really fun to drive. I think it sounds better than a Porsche if you ask me, but not only that, it's probably 10 times more reliable given the abuse. There's a couple of things I have to do. I have to mount this Kirky passenger seat, hook up some belts, do a new reservoir. That reservoir there leaks. Do the tank. Oops, sorry. Had my marker in front of the camera. Do the reservoir, fuel, new seat and belts for passenger, fuel tank, and then tomorrow I'm going to be swapping the tank in the Volkswagen. That is a 1.8 out of a newer GTI, fully built into an old school Rabbit. So that thing's pretty fun. I'll put a clip of that in here. But yeah, this thing, I was going to swap the 351 into it today because it's only like a day project, but I need different motor mounts. So I ordered those motor mounts and they should be coming soon, probably by the end of the week. Possibly, if not late next week, and or they'll come in early next week and I'll get it done by late next week. So have that thing on the road. I also bought new airlines. I think I mentioned that earlier, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. Once I get this fuel tank and stuff done and back in the car with fuel, I'll fire it up and let you guys listen to this. If you haven't seen this, it's on my TikTok and Instagram. Super fun. I drove it out on the street. Everybody kind of just was like, what is that? But yeah, it is a 69 body, 69 911 body with a 996, a 70s 996 body on the frame. Or yeah, correction. It is a 69 911 frame with a 70s 996 body. So kind of a Frankenstein. As you can see, the interior and the floorboards and stuff is all old school. My buddy next door, Dylan, just updated the door bars to make it accessible and put in some passenger side X bars. But yeah, that's pretty much the Porsche, the J35 Porsche. I'll have more content on this soon once I get the airlines done. I'm going to get it out of here until I get the Cummins swap stuff all ready. But at least that way it's drivable. I'm going to need new tires, new airlines, and then, yeah, this thing should be drivable. So, anywho, I'll see you guys back in a bit once this fuel tank is done. There we are. New tank is in. Fuel sending unit. New reservoir. The gauge is working. AccuSump is full. There we go. All right, everybody. So that is a wrap on the Porsche. This thing is finished up and ready to go. And so I will be turning it back over to my buddy, who is going to be running it this weekend for some races. So let's go through what I did again really quick. The new fire bottle installed, and that one is up to date. I got the fuel gauge working, as I shown just a little bit ago. I got a 12-volt cigarette lighter installed so they can run the NASA required camera with the driver's view there in the back. I actually installed this passenger seat. I welded in some bars and mounted this older Kirky. Welded in those crossbars, mounted in the Kirky. You could literally lift the car up by this seat. Installed the harnesses, got those all bolted in, got the dive belt bolted in through the bottom. One of the things that I wanted to show you guys, I don't know if many of you are into like actual race cars and stuff, but AccuSumps. If you know anything about AccuSumps, it's to protect your engine from low oil pressure. But the cool thing about them is I have this one hooked up to, let's kick this thing over. So I have this AccuSump. You'll see this thing has multiple oil gauges. So you have an oil gauge here and an oil gauge here. This is your AccuSump pressure, which is currently sitting at about 80 psi, and that is the oil engine pressure. So the AccuSump is here on the first switch. You flip it, and that provides your engine oil so you can start the car. And then you're going to flip the switch off, and you'll start rebuilding oil pressure in your AccuSump. If you leave this on while you're racing, for whatever reason, if you lose oil pressure here, like so say we have 80 here and 85 here, so if I shut the engine off, you'll see that the AccuSump, because the engine lost oil pressure, still has 20 because the AccuSump provided it when the engine turned off. Anyways, if you don't know what an AccuSump is, that was a quick little rundown. I have this one hooked up to a switch. We'll fire this guy back up so we can build back up that pressure in that AccuSump. And there it goes. Perfect. Anyways, got the fuel gauge working like I showed earlier. Also the plug-in for the camera. It's gonna kick on. There it goes. And yeah, that's pretty much all I did in here. Now every single one of the gauges works. The only one that we need to get working is a trans temp. This is for there's a fuel pump, or not fuel, excuse me. There's a coolant pump and fan. The pump will circulate coolant because it's a front mount. Radiator, and then pump fan. And those fans are serious. That's like you really need to cool down. But this will turn on the pump and the fan. This is just the pump if you're out driving. It'll help circulate as you get that airflow. This is a pump for the transaxle. Right now it doesn't have a cooler. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. If you like this video, that is all for the Porsche for now. The next video will be the Country Sedan and the temporary engine that one's going to get. If you didn't know, it's getting a 351 in the meantime till I pull together a Cummins trans adapter and a transmission to do the Cummins swap in the bagged Country Sedan. So that will be the next video. I appreciate you guys watching. Definitely drop a like. That really helps out the channel a lot, helps me keep pushing to make these videos. Or leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the J35 swap Porsche. Buddy is going to be taking this back out on the track this weekend. So maybe we'll get some footage of that. Anyways, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.